Hi there friends and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Minna and this is Minna Makes Stuff, where I talk about my knitting. So welcome. Happy New Year 2026. Who knew winter came to Helsinki? And yes, it's been cold. I think it was near minus 20 degrees at some point, but now we're back close to 0 degrees. But yeah, there's snow, there's ice, there's proper winter there. So who knew? When I last recorded, I think at some time before Christmas, there definitely was not sign of winter coming to my latitudes. But here we are. Yes, good. Decaf coffee. I'm still trying not to drink that much caffeine, and it's a process. I'm getting there. Yeah, let's talk about some knitting. And let's start about what I'm wearing. I am wearing some dress. I knitted this without a pattern, I think a few years back, or was it last year? Or not 25, but maybe 24. It's combination of yarns that I don't remember. If I can find them in my notes, I will put it in the screen. But yeah, I called this my ENID SINCLAIR dress because it reminds me of the clothes of ENID SINCLAIR, who is a character from the Wednesday TV series or Netflix series, I think, about Wednesday Addams. When I was a kid, I was absolutely obsessed of Amiga game, Addams Family. I didn't care too much for another games, and I know most people were playing Super Mario, the first ones. We didn't have that console or the thingy to play it with, but my friends had. But we had Amiga, and I played Addams Family like hours and hours. Good times back in the 90s. Yeah. Anyway, now there's TV series or Netflix series, and the first season is the best. I was really disappointed of the second season. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I waited. Was there 3 or 4 years between? At least it felt like a lot of time. And hopes were high because the first season was so good, and then not good. Anyway, ENID SINCLAIR dress and scarf that looks like Sophie's scarf but is not. But Sophie's scarf is pretty straightforward, so I believe if you know what you're doing, you can see how it looks and pretty much make one if you like. But support PetiteKnit and buy the pattern. It's a, very popular pattern. Okay, then to the actual knitting. Last time I was making Cleo sweater and skirt. And the sweater I had knitted, and I had started the skirt, so it's a set. This is the pattern is Sandnes Garn pattern, which you can only buy if you also buy some Sandnes Garn yarn. But someone was selling the pattern in Ravelry, no, not in Ravelry, but in Vinted, so I bought one, and I don't have it here. Anyways, here's the sweater. I think this was done last time I recorded. I'm using Pirtin Kehräämö Kampalanka, this grey one, and Schoppel wolle Zauberball Crazy, some colorway. And the whole thing took 2 balls, 200-gram balls of the Zauberball, so good. It was enough. But had I had more, I could have made the sweater just a tad longer, but it will do. However, the skirt, it's the new here. Oh yeah, and I decided, I had started and made the, oh no, I don't have the word again, this thing for the rubber band, and I decided to rip it out and knit it again, because I realized that the skirt does not have any shaping for the butt area. So if you are not absolutely buttless person, your skirt will be longer from the front and it will rise up from the back, because if you have butt, which I have, so I decided to make short rows to the back. So here it is, and it mostly stays under the sweater, which is how I kind of planned it. So it sits quite high up, and after that it is knitted according the pattern, and it's really straightforward, just pretty much adding stitches. And yeah, I was also worried about the hem. What will happen? Will it be like rising up because it is folded hem? But it is not. Now I have to say, I don't remember if because, okay, hear me out. I've knitted a right stitch and then one purl row exactly where the fold is, because it will make nice and neat fold edge. I guess it's a little difficult to see here, but anyway, there it is. And I'm not sure if this was in the pattern or not, but however, this is how I knitted. And I also knitted longer, kind of like longer hem and longer fold, and then stitched it here. And it's not turning so good. Also, this is now blocked and everything, but yeah, it works. And I think this is so neat and cute. And depending on, I guess, kind of how you style it, it can be a bit more, I'm not sure if formal is exactly the word, but more smart or something. That's a bit much. Also presentable. You can be presentable. I wore this in my cousin's 50-year birthday last weekend, and I thought it was a good outfit, but it also said in the invite that the dress code is relaxed. So anyways, depending on how you style it, it can be really homey and cozy, or it can be a bit like few steps more to the sophisticated direction, but not all the way there, I think. But yeah, also I want to check my needles and my gauge and tell them. Yeah, it was interesting because the pattern didn't have row gauge at all. The pattern asks stitch gauge to be 21 stitches per 10 centimeters, but there is no row gauge at all. My stitch gauge has been 24 stitches, and my row gauge in the sweater has been 38 rows, and in the skirt 34 rows. So also I talked this in my previous video that the neckline is how should I say it? It's small. However, it's not too small, but I believe I did some maneuvers here. It's not exactly to the pattern, or knitted exactly to the pattern. I think because it started as flat and then knitted piece by piece, both shoulders and this area, and then connected and so on. I think I did like a deeper neckline than it said, but I have not written it down, at least not in here. Okay, I'll check if I can find out. Yeah, I've knitted deeper neck, but I won't go to more detail because it's paid for pattern. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, but yeah, and I used, I think, 3.5 millimeter needles, and this was a lot of knitting. Both pieces. I mean, of course, it's like knitting two sweaters. But however, I'm really happy with the result. It's and I like this Zauberball Crazy, whatever the colorway is. It's really pretty. So yeah, that's that. Then I've had a secret knitting project because my boyfriend turns 40 in a not too distant future, and I wanted to make something special for the special day, and I tried to find a pattern, and I ended up choosing Max the knitter, or Maxim Cyr. I think he's for fox sake, and I at least half got the idea from the Kuitukuiskaaja YouTube channel. She's Finnish knitter and YouTuber, and she did knit really like magnificent knitted piece for her companion, and it was, she ended up knitting a cabled jacket, but she had like 10 sweater patterns or other patterns that she then chose from, and this was among them. And she said that this would be so fun for someone a little bit nerdy, and exactly, I also have a nerdy companion. It's a good character in people, don't get me wrong. So yeah, that's what I've done. I've knitted, okay, I have to check. It's knitted in size 3, and I've used 3.5 millimeter needles, and I did check the gauge now, like afterwards, now that it's blocked and everything. The pattern says 25 stitches per 32 rows. My gauge is 23 stitches and 22 rows. I have 1/3 too small row gauge, which might explain things. So, and the yarn, okay, I will go that one, and then I'll continue about that. The yarn is Pirtin Kehräämö Karstavilla that I've dyed, except the white one, but it's also Pirtin Kehräämö Karstavilla, but it's, I believe, undyed sheep wool, like natural white. And these other ones were, I think, light gray when I started, but then I dyed them. And yeah, it's quite tedious color work. It's a lot of it is 3 colors at the same time. I'm not good with that. I know there is a bunch of the techniques you can use, like wrap the yarn this and that way, but I think those work if you have certain way to hold your needles and certain way to knit. And if someone has just, it doesn't have to be much different, even though it's same style of knitting, I mean continental or English or whatever, you might still hold your needles differently and hold your hands differently, and then someone else's good trick won't work for you. But I did it. I didn't exactly have any technique. I just tried to do my best. However, now I have the thingamajig that you can put in your finger, and the yarns go to a little holes, and they will be arranged, and you can easily do the color dominance and whatever. Yeah, I haven't tried that yet, but I believe it would have been a game changer, but this I just freestyled, and yeah, it was a lot of knitting. Oh yeah, but so cute. Also, I've been thinking, but now, okay, yeah, here we go. It might be because of my row gauge is so much off. I'm not sure if I did a gauge swatch, and not for the color work, but I think I had some previous project where I could kind of estimate the gauge. However, that's not the same as actually measure it and check it. However, I felt that the what's this called? yoke. I felt that it would have, or that it was becoming enormous, like too wide for the recipient, and I did change the pattern just a little bit. I don't actually remember anymore what it was. I think between the foxes there should be 3 stitches, and I have 2, like here in the most like thin area. And because there is, I'm not sure how many, like almost 20 foxes, it will make almost 20 stitches with which is like 10 centimeters in this gauge in total. And I'm not sure if I altered it some other way, and I think it's good that I did that because it would have been too big. And now it should be okay. I think there might be just a tiny, maybe here you can see it. It's I mean, I love the pattern, the patterning, but the fit, okay, it can be totally my bad gauge, so no shame for the pattern or the pattern writer. However, there's some fit issues, like it from the shoulder it's a little like there is extra somehow. I think it's okay like this area and the back, but from the shoulders it's somehow it feels like there's too much fabric. That's the best I can how I can put it. And I'm hoping that in time maybe it will sort itself out. Maybe it will go away, but I'm not too yeah, I guess it's possible, but I've knitted so much that usually fit issues don't go away. However, the recipient is really happy, so yeah, that's the most important thing. And if someday he feels that he's done with this sweater, I'm going to take it back, or I cannot take it back because it's a gift. But if he doesn't need it anymore, maybe he can gift it back to me, and then I can take out the sleeves and this part and make a poncho for myself. Like, just think about that. I believe there the shoulder issue wouldn't be so obvious because there wouldn't be sleeves, I think. That's a lot of talk about that subject, and there's my hair. But yeah, I got this inspiration for the colors from Ravelry. They're in I think if you check the For Fox's Sake pattern, and there's always pictures, and I think the pattern maker can like choose, maybe there is only his or her pictures, but they can add someone else's. I think they might be test knitters, or I don't know if you can add like all the project that there is to, so that you can see them in the actual like pattern page, not like separately from the projects. Anyway, there is someone who is knitted it pretty much in these colors, and I thought it is so lovely because the original is, it's a little bit more not exactly muted. I like gray and blue and not so screaming orange, and I wanted something not exactly screaming maybe, but something that stands out, I guess, a bit more. And I got it. I think my I love my color choices. I love how my dyeing yarn turned out, and yeah, I think the colors work great together. Yeah, that's that. One good 40th birthday present. Okay, one more thing I have to say. Since the color work is so kind of intense, like there goes almost all the time 3 yarns, so it's really thick, and then it's only like stockinette. There is big difference in like the feel of the fabric. I don't know, that could also, I believe that can change at least a little bit with time and with wear. However, when this wears off and gets thinner, this will too, so I guess it won't make a difference. Saying stuff and taking it back right away. Anyway, it's maybe a little bit, somehow I feel it's a bit unbalanced. Not sure if that's a problem when you're wearing it, or yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's definitely a winter sweater because it's going to be so warm from the colorwork area. Yeah, that's that. That's everything. Then I had knitted both Cleo sweater and skirt, and I had knitted that birthday present, and I didn't have anything to knit, and I sat there in front of my stash thinking, what's my next project? And I tried to avoid to just start something in a whim, and I sat there and I sat there, and nothing. I couldn't pick up anything. And then I got a thought that if I want to make something that's funny, or something that's fun to make, some like cheerful project, what could that be? That, my friends, is a cat sweater. Not a sweater for a cat, but a sweater with a picture of a cat for a person. My cat Astrid, got this there, like sharpening her claws. She got a little sick. She was ill also at the springtime of last year, but just before Christmas she also got sick, and she got help and she's a lot better, but it takes some care and yeah, but it seems that she's coming through it. And I'm not okay, this is I don't know if, yeah, I have 2 cats, but I like all animals. I like dogs and parrots and killer whales, and I think I have the feeling that I don't see myself as much as the crazy cat lady who hates dogs and who thinks that dogs should be cats and dogs are stupid because they are not cats. And you can see the same thing in so-called dog people. They compare dogs to cats and they are annoyed because cats are not dogs, which Seems a little stupid, doesn't it? Why don't you compare your animal to a, I don't know, panda bear? They are different. They are different animals. That's why they are different. They are not supposed to be similar. So I don't like that the cat people are seen as like dog haters. I'm not sure if I'm cutting corners here, but that's something I've been thinking. And because I like all the animals, I don't want to exactly yeah, I don't feel like that sort of cat person that I just described. So I don't have like cat couch and cat like outfit and cat everything. However, now we're getting back to the actual subject. Here we are then. I thought that a cat sweater would be fun. I don't have a cat sweater. It might be a little childish. I don't care about that exactly. And I thought also that one day my cats turned 10 last year. They will turn 11 this year. And you never know, they're not like young anymore, but at the same time cats can live up to 20 or more years. But you never know still. And now that Astrid got sick, it's just I was thinking that one day or the day will come that they won't exist, which is I cannot think about that now because it's such a devastating thought. However, when they are gone, I thought I might find comfort that I have something. Well, I mean, of course, I have tons of pictures and memories and everything, but something else, like the sweater. So I wanted to make a Astrid sweater, and I did. And I wanted to use stash yarn because, of course, and I like intarsia. I've knitted few intarsia projects last year. So it opened. Yeah, and I was too lazy to draw my own chart, so I looked for a basically cat pattern for knitting, and I found one from, I think it was Craftsy, which is I guess online store, like knitting, crocheting, yarn online store, but there's also patterns. I believe you can sell your own patterns there, but I'm not sure. However, I found the perfect one. Oh, look at this. Okay. It's Astrid. Astrid the cat. And in the pattern, there is, okay, how can I show it? There is, like, the cat is one color and the eyes are in different color, but that's it. So I've added these white little details which Astrid has. She has long stockings in back legs and just a tiny little bit of white in the front paws. And then she's almost all like dark gray, but she has also white whiskers. So yeah, and I'm not sure what color of my cat's eyes are. I think they are brownish, gray, not gray, green, brown, gray, yellow, which is just weird color that changes according to the light. So here's, it's basically yellow eyes, I think. Or maybe a mustardy yellow. And I also add a little like sparkly thread there. So so, oh my goodness. Also, oh yeah, and yeah, the motif is from Craftsy, but the sweater otherwise, or the shoulder pattern, basically is once again PetiteKnit's Maggie cardigan, which I didn't. It's not cardigan, it's sweater, but I like the shoulder construction. It looks somehow a little bit like bad, but it fits really well. So yeah, and there's a little detail. Also, it's not intarsia, I stitched it in after. And also I wanted to do some cat motifs also to the sleeves, and they're I mean, not good. But I'm too lazy to take them out. And also I started to knit them as intarsia, so I cannot take them out, there will be a hole. So it's when I started this, I thought that if it's going to be weird and awkward and childish, it will be my home sweater, because I need one for one. And also I believe my brother's kids, who are age 2, 3 and 5, will absolutely love this, so maybe I can wear this when I visit them. Also, my plan is to just kind of keep adding details. I could test some embroidery techniques, like there's so much room in the bag. I could do something for the sleeves, and they are different because, I mean, the sleeves, because I at first thought that I want these stripy sleeves, but then when I had knitted it, I thought it's not exactly working. It would have been better if it had been stripes or not, but with this pink color. So then I knitted the other sleeve, and after that I was kind of done with this project. And even with the matching sleeves, it gives me a little bit like home sweater vibes, unless I just keep adding things as long as that it turns into a like proper wear to wear when you're out. But it will take a lot, so for now it's a home sweater. And since it's a home sweater, I'm not going to care about the different sleeve. And since I'm going to add 1,000 more details, it's not going to be balanced anyway. But I love this motif. It cost something like €4 or so. I should check if it's some like pattern maker whom I bought this, or is it like Craftsy pattern? I'm not actually sure, which seems a bit weird that I'm not sure, but anyway, I'll check. And yeah, it's the cutest thing. And the yarn is Mellan Raggi, which I've got from some sale, I think a few years back, and I still have some of it. And I believe is this like DK weight, like 200 and some meters, or a bit less in 100 grams. So it's a nice thick, like basic yarn. And I've used it in some rather recent projects, but I have not worn them so much that I would know how this will take wear. So will it pill and what will happen? I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. I think it's perfect material for a project like this. And that's that. And also I put in a little nose. Astrid has a gray nose also. You can't really see it too well, but there is a little nose. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. Then I thought I will talk a little bit about plans and thoughts and such, because I got this finished like it's now Wednesday. I think it was Sunday. And all of those were also knitted. And now that it's January, at least in Finnish Instagram, there is a lot of hashtags going on about not starting new projects and using stash yarn and so on, which I like great. But I believe that don't start new projects hashtags are, and they are only for January, at least what I've seen. Like knit your whips and start new stuff only in February and after. Yeah, it is probably meant for people who have like 20 or 50 whips, which I don't have. I don't have a single work in progress at the moment. And it's been 3 days and I have not started a new one. That's something. I've been planning knitting projects and other projects, and it's 21st of January right now, so I would have 10 days to go without starting a new project, or at least without starting a knitting project, I think. And I think it would be interesting to try, because I have been knitting all the time, like I think years. It wouldn't be too bad to have a little break or pause. And I don't count, for example, crocheting or sewing or other crafts to this, or making embroidery to this one. But maybe just if I wouldn't start a new knitting project, at least in 10 days. Yeah, I think I'll try. We'll see, but I'm not like sweating it. If because it's also important. I think mental health thing. I really enjoy making stuff, and it kind of soothes my nerves, and it's good thing. So, I mean, I'm going to be yeah, I'm going to be wise. If it's more like damage than good, it's like, why would you do a challenge like that? But however, as far as it feels good, like it has these 3 days already, then why not? Also, I'm going to show today I got this book from library. It's Norah Gaughan's, oh boy, you probably don't pronounce it like that. Knit, fold, pleat, repeat. Simple knits, gorgeous garments. I saw this book, or this designer. Oh, here she is. Oh, look. Oh. Did you see the resemblance? They're like two berries. Tutenne. He's the cutest little kitten I've ever seen in my life. Of course, the sweater is just like vague and really modest to try to get this beauty in a sweater, but I think I got close. And those little paws. Thank you. So, where was I? Yeah, this book and this designer, I stumbled in okay. There is a channel in YouTube, Fruity Knitting, which is like it's the channel for knitters. I think they interviewed this designer, and okay, I'm going to have to. There's my receipt or little thing from the library. There is this one pattern that they showed in the Fruity Knitting, and I got obsessed, and I had to check if this book is like if it's available in Finland at all, but it was, and I'm trying to remember what was the name of it, but there is a little bit, if I can't find it, it's a pattern that looks like that. It's not exactly cardigan, but something to wear on your shoulders, like really something that I would call sophisticated. Okay, just a sec, I will find it. Oh, there it is. Okay, how am I going to show it without showing a block? Look. Oh my word. I want to make this. I believe it's knitted in some kind of thin and fluffy yarn, like maybe silk mohair. Let's see. It says Rauma Garn Alpaca Lin 38%, baby alpaca 44, linen 8, wool 190. Oh, I'm not good with that. Well, 191 yards or 175 meters and 50 grams, and it takes 3 skeins. Oh. Well, it's not. I mean, 175 meters and 50 grams. Well, I guess it can still be quite thin, and anyway, I will have to see. The gauge is 17 stitches and 26 rows. Yeah. Anyways, and I'm going to have to take a look at this book. I didn't know that it's this big book. I only reserved it because that one pattern. So, but there is a lot of stuff. And I think it teaches you techniques also. like it's not just patterns, it like gives you actual instructions like how to create some like knitted well, fabric, but anyway, folds and what have you. Anyway, interesting book. And also I believe this designer is like, she has hundreds of designs, and you can find if not all, like a lot of it from Ravelry, and I think Fruity Knitting has interviewed her twice, if I'm not completely wrong, and I'll try and check what was the latest episode where I got this where I got this like sort of suggestion or inspiration, and I will link it. But yeah, so what am I going to do if I'm not knitting? Well, I can plan knitting, like, and I don't think it in my book it doesn't count as starting a project if I make a swatch, just to see the right stitch count and so on. So I can make swatches. Oh, also why I am so sort of eager to try this don't knit or is because my left wrist is a little bit like sore, and I think it's because of knitting so much stockinette in the round, like there's a lot, there's a lot. So I've knitted all those pieces in, I don't know in which period of time, like in less than 2 months. So yeah, I could I mean, I don't want to get injured. It would be terrible if I wanted to knit and I couldn't, so I think it's good to give my wrist a rest. And I believe if I'm doing crocheting project, I'm not sure yet, I should try, but I believe I will be holding the project in a different way, so probably, or not necessarily, it won't be as bad, but that is to see. If it's not good, I guess I will skip those as well for a moment anyway. But yeah, I don't know, maybe some embroidery, I don't know, I could do some sewing. And yeah, have you ever done anything like this, or are you interested to try at some point? I didn't actually plan this. I think it's a compilation of things like this wristing and well, there is the challenge or whatever hashtag thingy. So I guess I'll anyway, it's untiming. So I didn't think that I need this, but maybe I do need this a little bit, but maybe mostly for the wrist to get better. But also it's interesting to see, because I knit so much that what am I going to do with the time in my hands if I'm not knitting? So it's interesting to see. But I've been planning, I've been reading, I started the gym again, but this was a bit earlier, so it's not exactly because I'm not knitting, but anyway. So anyway, that's interesting. Let's see how it goes. Also, future plans. I would like to make a video of like all of my knits from the last year, and some some statistics about how much yarn used and so on. Haven't even started yet, so but that's in I believe it's coming, but I cannot make any promises about when. But I'll try not to like release it in June or something. Yeah. Are you doing any New Year's resolutions or New Year's, I don't know, these hashtag challenge things? Or if you have, no, well, I was going to say the same thing, other different, yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, I'm interested if there is some hashtags or challenges that fit my current situation. I can easily participate now that I don't, well, at least now I don't have works in progress, so we'll see. Also, I've been thinking that I should actually start like 10 projects, like plan them and start them and then put them away, so that when something is done and knitted, I have something that I can jump right into, because the starting is, it takes a totally different mindset than knitting something. So it can be so mindless to just knit, but if you have to start and count and check and it's not mindless. So when this no start January is over, who knows, maybe I'll start 10 projects and knit them one at a time. Who knows? Anyway, I believe that's everything. I think this is too long already, but hey ho, I can't help it. But that's everything. I hope to see you soon. I hope your year has been good so far. And be safe and be well and happy knitting. Bye.